Okay, let's do this links to exercise to try more links, and this time you really will have to use relative links a little bit. I hope you've been practicing on your own. Again, please read chapter 6 thoroughly, and even chapter 7 should be reading now, although we won't do too much with it, but it'll help a little bit anyway. Relative links work with images too. This assignment's due Friday. This is the assignment sheet, which is available on Moodle. You'll want to get your own copy probably. I tell you about the project folder and then a root folder within it, and this time you really do need an originals folder. You're going to download something called a calendar file from Moodle. It's one of those resources that's available for you into the originals folder. Also, you're going to be downloading, and you see the explanations down at the bottom here, another file from that same folder called 1812.docx, a Word file, into a subfolder of your root folder called docs. So your root folder is going to have a subfolder called docs. It's just important you know what you call this, because you have to eventually type the relative link to it, and you're going to put this docx file in that folder. This whole exercise would be easier if you didn't use a subfolder, but I do want you to use the subfolder. So that's at the very bottom. We'll get to it in a minute. Let's look at the folders, okay? That's not my folder. Okay, I have some other folders here, but please ignore them. I have the links to downs. I have my links to downs to HTML there, and in my docs I have my Word document. And in my originals, I have lots of things, including this calendar HTML. That's what I asked you to download into originals. Why into originals? Well, let's go take a look at it. This is the calendar.html. What is it? It's a bunch of stuff, but it's not a true full page. It doesn't have a head or a body or HTML or any of those things. So it's really just a text that's going to go inside the body. And so you're going to, in your root folder, make something called links to in your last name. Use your blank file, hopefully. Give it a title with your name and links to exercise, something like that. It's possible I gave you some other title information in the assignment. Either way is fine. And then in the body, you're going to paste all this stuff that comes from that calendar.html. You'll see it's already got a lot of formatting in it. This is what it looks like to begin with. Not quite. That shouldn't be there. Hold on just a minute. Sorry, what I meant to say is this is what it should look like. There should be no links in it at all of any kind. All right. You won't have this other stuff down here, the back to top, or this stuff down here. You're going to have to type that yourself. Okay, so let's get started. The first idea is that this is a very long calendar file. And we would like to put some links at the top in this whole area that says today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that go to those sections. I'm going to do one of these for you, and then you can do the rest of them. Frankly, linking to today and even Thursday isn't that helpful because they're right here. But you should still do them. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are going to have the biggest impact. So I want to click on this word Sunday and have it go someplace. I want it to go down to Sunday. How is it going to know to go to Sunday? Here is the Sunday section. I have to give this H2, which is the easiest way to get to Sunday, an ID. And I'm going to call it, you call it what you want. It's not magic. You just have to know what the word is. I like using all lowercase for everything. So I'm just calling it Sunday. So that means this spot has a name of Sunday. And because it's an ID, it should be the only thing named Sunday in this way as an ID. So when I click on something that links to it, it's going to know that it has to go there, right? How will I click on it? Well, I'm going to make it into an href. Here's the word Sunday. That's how I want to be my linked text, right? A href equals, and remember, it's an after equal sign, we always have a quotation mark. It's an ID. IDs are hashtag, and then the word I used is the word Sunday. You use what word you want, and then I have to close the A. So what's going on here? I'm going to save it and run it. Well, I have a link now that says Sunday. When I click on it, I go to the Sunday section. Good. But I have some words here that I've typed, and you have to type your own, called back to top. I'd like to click on that to go back to the top. Well, it's the same idea, but in reverse, right? Let's go down to the bottom. I have the words that say back to top. I have to give that word, I could make it the word top. I could use the whole area here. This has to be an ahref. But then how is it going to know when I click on here to go to the top? Well, I could make my ID up at the top first or afterwards. I'm going to do it in the opposite order, sort of. ahref equals quotation marks hashtag, because it's going to be an ID. I'm going to call it top. But there isn't anything there yet called top. I have to remember I'm naming it top. So when I go up to the top, I can use that. I could name it George. It doesn't matter as long as I remember what word I used. And now I'm going to go up to the top. The closest thing to the top is the beginning of the H1, I think. So I'm going to give that top, that H1, an ID equals top. Save it. Run. Again, I can click on Sunday, and I can go back to top. So I want you to do the links for Saturday, Friday, Thursday, and today also to those appropriate H2s. Let's continue on with the exercise now. I'm back on the exercise page now, and then we move into a thematic break. I want you to put HRs, or thematic breaks, at the end of that whole anchor area, and then between each of these next sections, email and phone links, and there'll be another HR, targeted links, another HR, document link, another HR, relative link, and then that's the end of the page. Okay, so I want you to make email and phone links. Imagine that you are the contact person for this page, and readers should contact you via phone or email if they want to add information or report errors. So insert the appropriate text and code. I'm not going to do all this for you. I'll show you the text, and I suppose you could steal it directly from me if you want. But I really want you to look back at that best practices for linking chart and imagine what the idea is. What is the lead-in text? What is the linked text? Why is it for email and phone? The linked clickable text is actually the email address and the phone, right? But for others, it is not necessarily. In fact, for exterior absolute links, we don't want to use the URL. We want to use that text to tell the reader where they're going. Then you're going to do targeted links. Okay, this is going to be an absolute link to the Battle of Plattsburgh website. You can just go Google Battle of Plattsburgh Web Association and you will find it there to get the link. But I don't want it to just open normally. I want it to open up in a new window or tab. Remember the underscore blank, target equals underscore blank. That's another attribute for that link. Look in your textbook about it and you can figure it out. So I want you to do that on your own, kind of. Then I have also a document link to an external document still. So it's still an absolute link. And I'll show you how you can find it, or you can use the link that's supplied right here. I want you to be able to describe it so they know that there's going to be a PDF document of this size opening. All right? And then a relative link to the folder in your subdocument, in the docs, subfolder, which is called 1812 DOCX, which you are to download from Moodle. And you have to write a final graph that says something like I described right here. Yes, okay, now I will show you. So you have to make sure all those links work when you're finally done. And zip up the folder that's going to have now a subfolder, something in that subfolder, and the links to HTML page also. Okay, all right, let me show you. So I'm not going to show you the links necessarily, but I'm suggesting something like to submit items for this calendar, suggest corrections, please contact. And then I've given an email address and phone number and email address. For more information about this event, visit the Battle of Plattsburgh Association website. Okay, you can use something like that. Or for a lesson plan on the Battle of Plattsburgh, download this PDF document. What's going to be the link text there? How you might change that. For a should be lesson, not lesson plan I created. You can say you created. I know you didn't, but it's okay. You're supposed to be imagining this is all you here. On the Battle of Plattsburgh, that should be uppercase, right? Battle of Plattsburgh. Download this MS Word doc or you should do DOCX actually, right? You should change that. And what's going to be the link here, right? So, and also remember the target and the ones where I tell you to use a target. And I guess that's it for the exercise. So yes, you can steal this text somewhat, but make it your own a little bit. And please try to understand why we use certain text to lead into and then to show be as a visible text.